Mia Kretzer.
Where did you hear about her or find about her?
She's on that. She won the X Games. Youngest person in the entire world to ever win a gold. She's at 9 years old. She's from Perth. Yeah, her mum runs her socials. So I've been talking with her mum via Instagram, and she's like, "Yeah, come down Saturday Arvo," and I wanted to kind of go there anyway. Not that I want to skate that freaking ramp. Is it 14 foot?
Looked at it.
I think it's 14 feet big. It's world-class half pipe anyway. Mia rocked up, and she goes up the top, and I kid you not, just drops straight into a massive backside air, frontside air, hand plant, 540, and I was like, I've got to stop skating and I've got to film. So I should have de-padded at that point, but I didn't realise.
I'll let myself out.
I just, went down, grabbed the drone, flew it straight into a tree, crashed it.
Just rattled?
Rookie error.
Yeah.
I just sent it up. So I'm sitting right at the, like at the bottom of the half pipe, and I sent it straight up and just went backwards without even looking. So I'm watching the drone screen. I didn't even realize there was a tree there, and I just went straight into the tree, and it just like hit every branch and then crashed to the ground.
Homer Simpson style, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I could see Mia's mum looking at me like, "Is this guy ever flown a drone?" I reckon she was thinking, "What is he doing?"
Everyone on Basie thinks drones are police drones usually if they're flying around there.
Yeah, it was nuts to watch it. Hey,
9 years old. You know, we spoke about it a few weeks ago when the Olympics was on, and she's been on the planet for 9 years.
Yeah.
And she's already like fucking at world level. How do they excel so quickly, eh?
I
swear you just could be born with some of that freak talent sometimes.
I would honestly not believe. I would think it's AI if I didn't see it with my own two eyes, the stuff and how good.
So the mum and dad skate?
The mum she reminds me a lot of, you remember Jack Robinson's upbringing with his dad was like taking him everywhere, just giving him every chance to be as good as he could be. The mum's the same. So she goes straight from school to pretty much Bayswater or to Scarborough Bowl, and they just skate. Like when the weather's good, they're skating.
Putting the time in.
And man, it was crazy to see. It's definitely a rare combination of a kid having the motivation, determination and skill, and then a parent that can harness it and push them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because
is she coaching her as well, or they just have a coach?
Kind of, yeah. She doesn't actually skate herself, but she's after every trick, like assessing the footage and giving direct feedback to how it's looking to Mia.
9 years old, that blows my mind.
Yeah. But what shocked me, or not shocked me, because watching her warm-up run, like a 540 to me is one of the hardest tricks, and she's got it on lock, and I just couldn't really work it out. And then she tried a kickflip Indy, and it was the first time, it was in the end of a run, she just threw the kickflip Indy and didn't make it. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a trick that she doesn't make. And I was like, oh, it's probably just a one-off, didn't make it. And then she tried it again and didn't make it. She's actually got a trick she has to work on. And then I was chatting to the mum, and she's like, yeah, the kickflip Indy is her kind of Achilles heel. So I assumed that she had it on lock because when she went to Tony Hawk's ramp, she landed one. And the mum was saying that was like, she'd barely ever done one, but it was like adrenaline and heat of the moment and just going for it, that environment. So she just stuck it. And so this day on Sunday, I've put the drone up. I've got 4 batteries, right? And the entire time was her learning this kickflip Indy.
That's insane. Putting the time in.
Man, you just roll a few times and pump and your legs get sore. So every time she doesn't land, she has to walk off the ramp, up the stairs, try again. And she's getting smoked. Like she's committing, landing the boards, like hitting her in the hip. She's falling on each side.
Do you get a chance to speak to her about how she's, like, does she articulate well what she's trying to do?
Man, she's 9. You forget.
I know.
She's, yeah.
So I mean, like, does she actually, you know, like you talk to some people and they're like, they can articulate, young kids or adults, and sometimes they're freaks at what they do, but they don't, they just like, oh, I just do it.
Nah.
Whereas others can like go, they overanalyze it almost.
Yeah, I don't know how she does it. She must just be so locked in, but socially talking, all that. She's skating pretty much. She's not really having conversations and all that. The mum will just yell out something to her, and you can see she's registering. Because I watched her. This other kid James rocked up who was 10. He just turned 11. Another freak talent as well, and he's doing all the same tricks. They're both learning kickflip indies together, and it's kind of like iron sharpens iron kind of thing. But unreal to watch.
And they're so young. Like, it's so cool seeing how them charging. That's scary.
Man.
I couldn't think of anything scarier than skating than tackling some of those massive half pipes.
Yeah, and the determination. So it makes me wonder. So I watched her, I reckon, try 100 kickflip indies, and she kind of got one, and it wasn't that clean. I was thinking, has she done that with every trick? Like the 540, has she done that many times that now she has it on lock?
That time on task.
It's so inspiring. But there was this moment as well. My drone ran out of battery, so I'd filmed 4 batteries full, and I went up to the top and I was just filming with I had a GoPro running and I was filming my iPhone. And Mia had tried it so many times. You could see, when someone starts, their spirit's gone. It was no longer a fun session for her. She was just, you could just see almost like a sadness that she wasn't getting it. And then the mum starts talking to her saying, Mia, we've got to call it. We've got to go home. She did the old parent thing. She's like, I've got to be home for this. As I heard her say, I was like, that's not happening. That's an excuse. She's like, we've got to be back at 5:30, Mia. Last one. And Mia's just standing there looking at the mum, and she's trying to process all these emotions, and she's almost crying, man. And the mum's just, I felt as a parent, because you can see how much the kids just tried for hour after hour, and it just hasn't come together, and her energy's getting lower, the attempts are getting worse. And then the mum's kind of just said, that's it for today, we're done. And then Mia just stood and stared at her, and I'll never forget this. And
no, Mia, it's time to call it things. You got to know when to call it. There's no enjoyment. Even if you landed it now, you wouldn't be happy because you're that upset about it.
Come on, Mia. Come on, Mia.
You can fight me all you want, kiddo, but it's time to call it. It's time to call it. Yeah, it is. 100% it is. If it's not enjoyable, if you've got that look on your face, it's not enjoyable, it's done.
Why don't you go do some speed box jumps?
Go do the box jumps.
No.
Go mix it up, Mim. Yeah.
are you kidding me? Well done.
Time to call it.
You know what? That was like the equivalent of like the finger and
I knew you were going to get that then.
man, that was.
The kid is going places. Determination. I love it.
Are you gonna clean up now?
Nation.
Yeah. And then she stuck it, and I was like, what a freaking weapon.
What was her emotions like? Did she show much?
She was still a bit angry and disappointed and sad. And then the next shot, back to fun.
Yeah.
And then she did it. She just got it, and then she landed 3 or 4 more after that. And like stylish.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. Oh man.
That's a great way. It's good that the mum picked up on as well. Like this is becoming a chore now.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and that can be kind of when they start feeling like it's a fucking burden. That can be devastating to like further progression.
Yeah.
It's also a good thing if they're old enough to handle it. You don't always need to finish on a high.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you want to break them and they marinate what's going on, and the next time they come back they're ready. But when they're 9 years old, it's probably a different ball game.
Yeah.
So it's cool that
And part of it, I can tell the mum, it was secret tactics. She was doing that on purpose. Like the kid, like I'm pretty sure anyway, I'd have to ask her, but from listening back to the convo, I kind of feel like she knew that would give her the 5% extra anger and like, stuff you, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I think the mum brought that out of her.
That's cool that she's got that in her.
The mum or the daughter?
The girl. Like the daughter,
Yeah.
the mum to understand that obviously as a mum, but for the young girl to have that's going to hold her in good stead when she's competing.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like she probably had that same sort of burning desire when she was at Tony Hawk's part.
Yeah.
And then like when she's in competition throughout her career, like they're those clutch wins.
Yeah.
When those people step up to the big moments.
Yeah. I was thinking like I should probably do a YouTube clip of that session. Just I could show.
Got it clean.
That was a long battle, Missy.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Well done, kiddo.
Man, and it shows that it's not just the determination and the will. So I saw her get smoked for 3 hours. Then yesterday I was like, Mia's doing it, I'm doing it. So I went to Scarborough Skate Park, the bowl.
Brought your mum?
I should have. I kind of had a mum. I had met this guy, Conrad, this New Zealand dude, man. Best wingman you could ever hope for. He stood there and he's grabbing my board for me. He was like my cheer squad and motivational support, offering me little coaching tips.